Invincible Season 2, Part 1 has officially ended, and here is everything there is to know about the exciting mid-season finale explained. Invincible Season 2's release schedule is pretty interesting, as it has been split in half, with the first 4 episodes releasing in late 2023, and the last 4 releasing in early 2024. Invincible Season 2, Episode 4 has just been released, wrapping up Part 1 of the exciting second season. Although Season 2's story isn't done yet, the Invincible mid-season finale was a massive episode full of big reveals and huge changes, so here is a complete breakdown of the Season 2 Part 1 finale. The season explored the aftermath of Invincible's battle with Omni-Man in Chicago, while also introducing all new threats, like the multiversal villain Angstrom Levy, as well as Thetis and the Coalition of Planets. A lot happened in the Invincible Season 2 Part 1 finale, and here's a full breakdown. Nolan has been hiding on Thraxa. Since Season 1, Invincible Season 2 Episode 3 ended on a massive cliffhanger, with Mark discovering that Nolan has been hiding out on an alien planet called Thraxa since leaving Earth at the end of Season 1. After arriving on the planet, Nolan was hailed as a hero by the Thraxans, with him once again finding himself loving the planet rather than desiring to take it over. Since the Thraxans have relatively short lifespans, Omni-Man is the oldest person on the planet. On Thraxa, the oldest inhabitant automatically becomes king, allowing Nolan to actually take over the planet without much trouble. Mark has found Omni-Man's other son, Oliver, but where is he now? When Mark arrived on Thraxa, he believed he was being sent to save the Thraxans. Upon seeing his father, however, Mark realized that it was a trap. Mark initially resented his father for his treatment of his mom and his planet, with Mark not wanting anything to do with Nolan. However, Mark changed his mind upon learning that he had a Thraxan brother. Since being on Thraxa, Nolan married a Thraxan named Andressa, with them having a child named Oliver Grayson. Besides his purple skin, Oliver looks basically human, but he will soon grow into the hero kid Omni-Man. After learning about the existence of Oliver, Nolan explained that the Viltrum Empire would want him dead if they learned of his existence. Thus, Mark needed to help Nolan fight off the Viltrumites. Mark hid Andressa and Oliver in a cave upon their arrival, but one of the Viltrumites discovered them. Nolan seemingly killed him, leaving his body in a cave as they went to fight the other 2 assailants. However, this Viltrumite comes back at the end of the episode. Since Oliver and Andressa aren't seen again, some viewers fear that this Viltrumite may have found and killed Oliver. However, if the series follows the comics, this didn't happen. The Viltrumites have found and captured Nolan. Although Mark and Nolan are able to take out 2 of the Viltrumites, the third gets the better of them, brutally beating them to a pulp. Before they are able to fend him off, backup from the Viltrum Empire arrives, with several Viltrumites imprisoning Nolan. They explain to Mark that they are taking Nolan back to Viltrum in order to execute him for abandoning his post, with Nolan last being seen loaded up until the Viltrumite ship. Nolan gives Mark a few words of advice before disappearing, with Mark having to rescue him in Season 2 Part 2. After arresting Nolan, another Viltrumite has a brief exchange with Mark, sending him a dark message. The Viltrumite explains that, since Nolan is arrested, his mission to conquer Earth has been passed on to Mark. Mark is to prepare Earth for conquest by the Viltrum Empire, meaning that he has to kill any possible defenders, including his friends. Mark is told that if there is resistance from Earth, the planet will be decimated, with this dark promise setting up a huge dilemma for Mark in Invincible Season 2 Part 2. Donald knows that he died in Season 1. Donald Ferguson is somehow back in Invincible Season 2, which is strange to some audience members. Donald died in Invincible Season 1 after blowing up a house with Omni-Man inside it, and the new Donald has noticed some people are treating him differently. The Season 2 Part 1 finale sees Donald further investigate his existence, with him actually finding security camera footage of his death. This shocks Donald, although it isn't revealed why he is back alive. In the comics, Donald Ferguson is actually a cyborg, with this probably being how he is back alive in Season 2. How Season 2, Episode 4 sets up Invincible Season 2, Part 2. Invincible Season 2 is only halfway done, with the mid-season finale setting up Invincible Season 2, Part 2 in some big ways. Part 2 will undoubtedly explore Mark's attempts to continue fighting off the Viltrum Empire, with him having to figure out how to prepare his planet for an invasion. Mark will also have to save Nolan from the Viltrumites while also protecting Oliver, who gets brought to Earth and becomes a superhero in the comics. The Part 1 finale also doesn't feature some storylines, with them being expected to return in Part 2. Angstrom Levy is the main villain of Invincible Season 2, and since he was mostly absent from the first half, he is expected to play a big role in the last 4 episodes. The season will also have to continue Thetis' betrayal of the Coalition of Planets, something that should tie into the Viltrum Empire storyline. Back on Earth, the Guardians of the Globe will also have to deal with Shapesmith. There's a lot of story left, making Part 2 of Invincible Season 2 incredibly exciting.